About to dive into our discussion this morning on Showbiz Review. I have Mr. Robert Clark in the building and also Kwame Dazi.
Yeah, man. What's going on? You feeling irate?
Midday panties a man pamsin.
Yeah, man. Born like you have this morning, yes? Man pamsin, yeah, man. Yeah, man. You feeling irate, but me not eat.
You not eat?
Me not eat yet.
I got something to eat.
Me want some food for this morning, yam this morning, see?
You want yam food for this morning?
Yeah, man.
Not go happen. It not go happen. We in patois. This morning we're looking at this story. And the first time, in fact, we tried to get the personalities involved, but they've decided not to speak to it. But then let me just go ahead and read the story as we digest
it. Speak for them.
You speak for them.
We just say we did.
No, it's with respect. I think you know that recently, I think just the day or the day, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yes, there was this story about the Kumawood and issues surrounding Kumawood.
Yeah.
How Kumawood is not as vibrant as it used to be, and people are trying to find out reasons why Kumawood just fell off the scene. Well, latest to add her voice to the Kumawood Wahala.
Yeah.
Part 1 and 2 is Portia Asare, and Portia is saying hatred and Juju led to the decline of Kumawood. That's what she's saying. Hatred and Juju. The political side, people were blaming former President John Dramani Mahama. The Dumsor era has been one of the contributing factors that led to Kumawood, because people were consuming, the movies that were being produced. And it got to a time that they could buy the CDs, or they would buy the CDs, get to the house, and then they'll have no power to watch the movies. So they had backlogs that need to be cleared. So, but Kumawood was still producing. So some believe it's on that front, but Portia is saying it's not that. It's hatred and Juju. Now the story goes on to say Ghanaian Kumawood actress Portia Asare has shed light on the significant challenges facing Kumawood movie industry. According to her, the decline of Kumawood movie industry was due to internal conflicts and spiritual sabotage. Now, she granted an interview on Juju TV where she discussed the negative impact of the hatred and the lack of unity among colleagues, which she believed led to the decrease in both production and quality of Kumawood films. Now, people are asking why Kumawood is dead. It is because of hatred. People are using spiritual means to sabotage their colleagues instead of loving and supporting each other, she said. Portia Asare recounted personal experiences of being targeted by some of her colleagues in the industry. She also described how some people, how people she trusted use spiritual attacks to undermine her progress. People I used to eat with, people I trusted, were amongst those who tried to destroy me using witchcraft. Now, in fact, let's just listen to Portia Asare as she narrates her ordeal and as an account of what led to Kumawood falling off. Well, I don't want to say dead, because dead is too strong a word.
Falling off.
Falling off, but they can get back. But dead there is too strong a word. Let's listen to Portia Asare.
Kumasi nyonko da bi time no e na ne ye de odo ehumo brokro ye e na ne ye de adwuma we e na mi ti o mi nsa me ba na kwa mo de me kwa na me nua bi didi kwa na ofra mi amesro
unya kra obesu
ade na ye ji
ase
ade pa na ye ji. I'm so passionate when I talk about this and chana misu wan chana me de ye odi abesu o seti so ade na ye ji fi ye nua hos bra se mi Portia wo komi fi wa ye nfa mi di na to di so. Dia wo ye me different from dia me ye. Mommy enfa do. Mo so ya musi Kumawood awu. Enu tro. Ye re fisa obi na boy ya ba asase so na de gift ni ma yen. Ye movie ni nyina ni padodo ahi na so ko Dondology school. Ni padodo ahi na si Lagos School of Performing Arts no.
Mesro.
Ye mu dodo ahi na ko. Adra enkrofo bi ba frafra ye mu. Omo ne nam num sifo se bi men kasa Bible kwa se fa de ye kaza de ma kaza ne fa de ma eyama Caesar ema Caesar. Obi adi ni leni. Na momu no kura kwan ne de wan fa so. Na ofa ba bi ensesa wo fa. Ba bi ade ne da wan fa nto wa. Eyi Portia wo aduane. Na nyina ya to se de to se busua ba ko sa time no Kumasi nyonko da big time no e na ne ye de odo ehumo brokro ye e na ne ye de ye adwuma we e na me ti o me nsa me ba na kwa mo de me kwa na me nua bi didi kwa na ofra mi amesro
unya kra obesu
ade na ye ji
ase
ade pa na ye ji. I'm so passionate when I talk about this and chana misu wan chana me de ye odi abesu o set yi so ade na ye ji fi ye nua hos bra se mi Portia wo komi fi wa ye nfa me din na to din so dia wo ye me different from dia me ye mommy nfa do mo so ya musi Kumawood awu enu tro ye re fi sa obi na boy ya ba asase so no de gift ni ma yen ye movie ni nyina ni padodo ahi na so ko Dondology school ni padodo ahi no si Lagos School of Performing Arts no
mesro
ye mu dodo ahi ne ko
aja wo ni bobo
abra enkrofo bi ba frafra ye mu omo ne nam numsifo sabi me nkasa Bible kwase fade ye kaza de ma kaza ne fade ma eyama Caesar obi adi ni leni na momu no kura kwan ne de wan fa so na ofa ba bi ensesa wo fa ba bi ade ne da wan fa nto wa eyi Portia wa
abutre
Asamarehoo.
Areho. Well, we'll try to get couple of people in Kumawood to or the Kumawood players to respond to some of these things, but I have a message here from a good friend of mine. He's saying the rampant broadcast of telenovelas on our television contributed to Kumawood's the decline in Kumawood movies and the consumption of it, because as it stands now, they were facing competition. That is what he is also saying. But then, Kwame, do you agree that Juju and hatred, because they are now two different
things?
Yeah, two different things. Some are blaming politicians and the former president John Dramani Mahama's doomsaw. There are two doomsaws. We have the MPP doomsaw and the NDC doomsaw.
And others are also blaming the fact that the producers in the Kumawood field or in the Ghanaian movie industry were not able to transition to the new era of technology. Others have blamed it on lack of investment, lack of cinemas, lack of marketing and all that. So various reasons been given.
But at the peak of Kumawood, were they premiering movies? Like, were they really doing movie premieres?
I think
it
was basically
it was the story device. That's the CDs.
So when that transitioned onto the internet, when CDs phased out, some people have said that was the major thing that affected the comedy industry. Now Portia is talking about Juju and hatred. Juju is spirituality, right? And most times it's difficult to prove something that is not scientifically tenable, as in something that you can't for a fact prove. She's telling her story. Maybe she experienced it, and being spirituality, maybe it's something that happened to her personally. And she went.
She gave an account.
Yeah, a spiritual person to tell her, and then the hatred aspect too. In fact, every institution, every community or group encounters almost the same problems, as in hatred and all that. I'm not sure there is any institution that has everybody, being on good terms with everybody. Yeah. You have the industry there. You are acting with somebody. You are an actor. The person is, let's say, a director.
Kindly hold your thoughts on this one, and let me get Kwakumenu. So tum na mene minua Kwakumenu ending komo kakra bi. And now pe Kwakumenu actor e Kumawood. Bra Kwaku. Bra bibi aboko.
Ya kopo atomo na so.
Ukrukra mu Bra Kwaku. Bra Kwaku and no pay ye story back who I hear Portia Asare unuaba ne nsem kakra bi okan wa Juju TV. So with respect to Niema ma Kumawood ekọ form yenka say egu but yenka say ekọ form ono say ye otan any edutuo anase Juju na ema Kumawood call form ugidi so we key player wo mu kwa de me so
voice no from pa
me voice no from bravo go me say Portia Asare wa unuaba or say Niema ma Kumawood ekọ form no eye otan any edutuo na we key player industry me uti say Kumawood dey na me pese me toto ano kakra na me hu eye no kre
Say ebia edu to na mane call for.
I was say do to any or time ankasa.
Dedi ka me tie for nyina na me den tia mo. Na me se nya me adu obi anso hoye. I do to de obi na kan. Me bia na me kan. Na maka de be si mo ankasa mo so. Ati se adwuma wo so ye ya ye radio adwuma yi. President ma mo ye radio na timitwa. Difference wo mo ya se bia ko ta concern. But a creative party adwuma. What you say? Obi akasa madwomo na ati. Obi any attack and I say in fact our industry no. Ukonyum to fomu a even the otidwom po sebi a otombo kokra no. Oji bibi dia, obedi bibi babo na adwuma wa ye ho ban. What mase? Aha. By industry side na question pay for say domo ni sade so takrache. Yen ye wodin na de bia na bia yen sem babo na before you knew about an Becca Satimon, me did say, ma, Portia, and yet ne Portia. Portia buying that me. I check your two move. But what I say, and only mean face probe any be a challenge is be a what man, some be a and they would be a way I walk because they do be an Portia can you will be a Portia. What I say, I told at least with the woman of untimiding. Minim gaba could be. Ni ankasa ma mefa boy bi nye example menim boy bi a o yesi ni twani akome wo ha na the wife ba o person wa no you say you close him fa other them so pamacho boy no woman na me hu no so ma no mama ba da ho so be bom pai ma fi ni guy but yet ni hu no kura bi unu de nai se na wo bodam ai boy na bodam enti ni yin na be frame me say na happen when say wo frame am baby a when ya sata na mama bada to kwante so mama bada asole ne suffocate wa so fifi na me de na mama no a wotini ne boy ne yede e bom pai bro boy ne wie na wo ka isi ya kire no apart from so obo ampai bo no obi sa kire no baby ho ne kotefa na so the make what machine
Matias here
so obi be kwa aduro so obi be compile but me believe say me kwa aduro so kwa mala mo se for kro me obe pam me
ade
because obe ka kire me say e bia de teme so no aduro mo ame ye won konfo be ma kwa aduro so a ku me ni pam wo mo so we say bia bebre ni pa bebre obi o kwa aduro so kwa tu me ni pam no so we say we here aduro nti me ni gidie wa aduro but aduro ho aduro ye adwuma but the other de bia me catch up for nsen ka wo ko ba bi for bam e bia obambo a kokobo wo mpaye but o de make what machine
me tipa
obi som ye bosoma I no nche say ye mfate kan koto ni me da bi e ye soma e ka Ghana ye ho a ye ne nam tumi ye ne nam me ti makura ase me ye wo ba bi a e kuro ni nyina ye wo fe ba bi asone so de me so watene kura ase da
asone so ho ne e kuro ni nyina ho no mko ye amamre nsuo no eti baabi ena dua bi so ma mo de eto ye ya amamre kokum se na yo gan yo se de ba di o e ya amamre man nsuo no because na nkansu ye ne na tikuro no ke ohun boni bi be ifini bi abeifo bi ndi boni mfa ma hye nsuo no ana se enni kuro ni nya apademic what mate mitipa
eti eni nyini na me betoi wo ni wodi ya se ye wo nsuo be fa na aprapo ye nwimu nam aprapo nsuo ye nwimu nam wo do ye be ma enna me no kase wo ye be ma kwachi aprapo mu nam we na se wo behu se bibi wo wiase ebiem wo ye oba na wo bu nsa ye nko sa nsuo nim papa what ya say
mitipa
me ji sa no mani di but me re nsem wo ho enti se wo ko ba bi sa na wo ko bo ho ban a eno ne ye wo ugidie na wo de ko but ye won ko fo bi wo ma bro o ko no do bi na ye target o do bi na ye target e DJ Slim uti we abani abra wo ye adwuma so la ho machi a wo de akwatra hoyi on hwe wo bro but wo se wo bra fom no no ni di mpega ye wo munu no na e bi obi di ko kuma ni di na eko obi na o wo nti obi asole ahomache anadu de so mu na mahye akwancha wa kodime bia wodi abo bi agina wa ma okra wodi udi aba abo no hu kosie na anadu se be ya 2025 e kosimu no ma ya nti ko kuma nu nka biem e wo ho enna o kan ni pantiate ejomfo ye obi kwa asole obi kwa timi sofo aduro so for me to me kwaje do the question no ko so for asori dem say many time ho be ji say to ye nyankura ye nyini pata na me ya se nipa bebre ne ye nhia de ene obi anyini but 1+1 when you say you 2 but you na ti pabra ne pese odi team 1+1 ho say 1+1 ye 2 ye 3 obeda do 1+1 ko ye 3 eh normal life ni party 24/7 today be dey make can say what e wa abon ho mpaye cause one mom mpaye obi bebo mpaye tiawo obi bebo mpaye obi a ompa wasem bekura so let tiawo ma yesi ni man team atete ma obi pa okura no wanyawa bro obi tuma ma obakura ya yalefo obi sika bi obenya bi ade be kwa ma obi sika so nsemu a na oba yale keja pade pa wuntimi nye bi da ya wo actors bebre na wo hwe bi kura wo yo musician bebre na wo hwe wo wo ana de make him now
emu da opa
na gidin ebi bebi benye sika wo industry mu apatada kwa yentimi amobi ojo be ka so ye kohwini tabi ma bia mani twa no mukrom onye sika wo ya boso me ji si adwuma ada obeji pay sada no ka so no misanom
da no obeji pay na
ada obeji ni pay no sada no ka so no misanom ana wo bro so ana ni tima yemre na adoye honhom na
obecheni sika nyina
obecheni sika nyina sika ne say ana nani so atene no ana wo mmuru bi eye normal bibi say normal
nsem ho
enti no bia se no sabla ya hunu yanti abraba so na mo bi ka chese bibia ni wiase menyi bibia ni wiase eti so obusu afie wo beto ma me no ka chese wo kosi no ka chese akosi emfa won san ka busu afie ni yesi anya wona ka obeti babu me bi ensi oyine bia nkototo no ma nyina so obesi dan ne so se yankopɔ ka ensi no na eso si asɔre dan no
ampa
de ba na eso obesi what you say bibi wo
enti brakwaku ugidi se sa niema no wo ho a eye adwuma wo ba bia enye sinitwa mu nko a
enye sinitwa mu driver ni bi twika wodi aduro na wodi twika obi ye car business ne car ye gina on akogina ne cars ade amade onu nim so obilibu software wodi ne bato nko akosa wo akoye car adwuma ada wo to car nko ani boso no miensa wo car na akopem wa car ni kuma se kwaso what you say enti nye bibia na da wiase ne nda ho na ho tra se de hu wiase se da ho na ya je ye aduane ne didie ne onom kore na obi prince okwa abroche kore ne ho tete na otegana kwa no ye okay
na Brakwaku Matias na otan ene unity wo kuma wo mu so na net sen na de ntia me busa
otan kwa de lo wadwuma mu awon no obi na efri sanyo no obi na efri ana
eno so ho
na wo da bi o ye ni akasa me no mi o na ebusu efri mu obi na pe yasem
da bi da
se ebusu afo but every call ma me ni nua bi ene ni nua no nyina bi kwa monka eyesia na hu se bi mu bok akutia ene kwatwe aso se ebusu mu ba ko moja ba ko ma de ana
eno no
eti hu kimi meka se Kumawood se bi yenka se bi o ya ba kan kese eko kese wo kromi ama ye nya ni ga so e NPP ni NDC meboa
ampa
aso pa ko from Jerusalem stamp ebesi eye Yewura Mahama tam o he se NDC no omuka Neko MPP mu oye Yewura ko 4 time ade betum Yewura ye papa Nana Akufo-Addo nyahwem se omuka eni ba bia nemu mu kro etese Ghana no ebia wo ne mra men pe o pese mpuntu ba ekuo mu a anase ba bia enya enkabomo ana mekuo gina o eye mra papa wutie nkomo yi eye mra yehia nkamom yehia mra kakura na ntimi nkanche adwuma se wonyi konso ni fo na nipa na wotana na akasem etu nkasem wo betuna akata
David da
tobi uba ba kasem akonja wotana so pa gina ho obi anu ni problem a wontimi nkasa wo akonya frifie bai anu na esi eti sa de na se se mu bi industry bi mintimi nkancho metuma kamiti acho se enye nkaboma enim enye wotana obi tan obi ena masimitua sebio enkoso
na eyedey
mesi ehia law ana yemasi call from utiemi yemasi call from enye wotane ntokwane abiade odebi agana fo ka na ka different story da kwa yedenya ne ye na cd nya adwuma biem se komoyo
mitie
that way denya ne no ne nton CD biem na koye premier but ye ni cinema ho a ye betinye premier movie producers asoma me no okay producers me kan sisi yi said e baby twam na cassette and ba DVD what you say ye denya ne no ne free cassette aba DVD and VCD apa what ma say
meti
tana ye denya ne no VCD ni nya adwuma biem etena ulu say producers ni wo producers no more movies e bi cha 3 e bi cha 4 down to be no movies be for e good them kwa me bi e say nya me che wo movies be 5 e na good them ono hu so ko premier eti sinimi de denya ne da ko no producers ni nya akwakoye producers na akwakoye obi ton phones e bi ton electricians ho no ma e bi ton ho anwan ne ade eti ni movie de papa untimi asori dem ko Pentecost asori dem say elder kora bi ni obi kasa wo wa asori dem ko so e wa asori dem DJ wa we say wa wadwuma mu ya wo sisi yi nkwasa asem bi ko so ho sabi e ko so ho enso se adwuma de ko so eyemra no no
enti
mi baby o enti nya chinchira se obi no obi ka
enti mi bisa brakwaku ansana ye de bibia bebe na wiye no amanfo bi nso ekire wo madwen se electricity nyinam ahoden ye dum so happen from 2012 mu ho ye John Dramani Mahama na mamu mu dum so baaye no ka ho bi na ma
Ghana la uti
mitie
Ghana mo me yanka no kranche ho se o man na ka se fan se Ghana no me mo politician bi edi me mo Akufo Adudi me mo Bahamadi me mo Yeru Akufo Odi efi se kwa me kuma ji fa odi obetetro man no o yemfa hwenka bibia ho ana de me kana true of
no kre
kama kwa me kuma ye ayi akosomodam ne nipa dodo ye se
na nipa susa
yes me boa
ni susa
me produce different countries like me boa
ampa
akene nipa dodo ne ye se ene ko broni krom ade e broni dadwene ba ko se de bia ode energy ba be ka ho obi di baller e create light utie mi obi di baller e create light obi aye bibi ti se fine kakraka bi no ode akosi ba bi no create light obi di awia solar e create light ye mpem for no mo ye dey o ma no ye yale daga na ayana ye nchechire o ma bi se se ye chechire politics MPP ni NDC ni ye chechire ye nchechire o ma ti nkoma am no di no am kasa chire ba dwemba ye nchechire politics because ya we se Ghana yale akosomo efi se o ma pe ko fo ba nyina ye ba nyina no wo yo ma pe ye wuti anye ye ne se problem wo ne ba beto wa na be ye wo tam na wo de ba ne de aka asem but ye no se akosomo dam fi se kwa me kroma ye akosomo dam ye fa ye ne ko China de bi ne de tie bi acha na kreti bibi foforo wo krom ye ne ye ye dey asia ye ru Akufo Adudi ye a ye se no ye dum siesie no me ba wo ye Akufo Adu ana papa adem na your money na ye ntipi na ye nya de sadam ni bi na ye be create bi dia ya ye create bi dia ya fa nye na o man no nya na da so ye o man ya snow to o man ke de light be dia agro say e o man ya snow to o mu a snow to na light no ni petimi wu a nka ye de light be dia agro say
eno so ho
what you say enti bro Ghana no ukoka na sembe bria yesi sabi wa obeka no kro wa bra wa ba wo so yeso ye NDC even kana bi eja pompo etimi ka tenso okasa ma NDC ana meboa
ya tibida
yes tamsi obi wa NDC no okasa ete se ma we fense ayi tamra no NDC tam ayi we no fense ayi we kwa yellow no so one you know at a time I don't know papa no pa
gogu anido
so one anu ka say so kasama MPP ana
eduru ba bi no mo kasa
yes the we no wa ba na wo so na wo kopa no kura wo bo mu no ye NDC ni so ba na wo so na wo kopa no kura wo ye MPP ni sa na Ghana is there ye wo that's what in common afa
Matthias e bra gogu
I know the time you adwuma no because for say ya de light e ma adwuma no conform because light na conform the adwuma e ye dum so ne ba no be kan ya adwuma no because obi to enu a wato CD 1 and 2 kura ko du fie light nti kwantimi ahwe no kura sa na tie but me pese me musa say e ye why fault
Matthias here Brakuku. Yes. Matthias Brakuku medase.
Ato ene ba ya me wo mo plato o to mo ne bompayo. Wo ho ban. Said kwase bia nka wanto fom. Why?
Medase vi.
Na wo busuam nyina woni nipa odidi ma busuam nya bidi.
No credit.
No ka say na Thursday e kwa so le me wo Kumase. Ati ase. E ko dime ma bompaye. E wo mama baida ho. Ene Thursday o. The Thursday bia me wo Kumase me jade me bia wo kwa so le. Eradi hu yemobo o so kase a o so wuju hu di se o ye stanti o mpem paibo onko ba bi obi be kwa ama Eradi say why
Kwaku me da CP bra
so that's it
Ibeshia Kwaku meru na ye ne twetwe nkomo na quite a lengthy conversation in the I mean he acknowledged the fact that he believes that Juju is ade wo ho so yes, it's a part of every institution, not just the movie institution. And he's one way or the other trying to say that can't be the only factor that led to the decline of Kumawood. But anyway, let me get into the studio. I have Mr. Edem Chotome here. Robert Clay is also here. But Kwame, you are on the floor. And
I think Kwakumeno has said everything. That guy is very wise. Anytime he tackles issues, he does so, with practical knowledge, or can't breaking it down out here say or I think he has addressed the very salient points in this topic. So newakana nina no ntino menu ya no so omonje baton na
okay
any amunso mwe piao
and also cracky you are giving it to the founder of Ghana dance
when the cracky certain man
on the tai chi Robert let me hear you quickly on this one.
I think that usually when you get submissions like this on the surface one of the things that you'd always says, oh, come on, man. I mean, why spirituality? Because you can go into the space and you clearly find evidence of the fact that, okay, so once upon a time, the movie consumption pattern was in a particular way. And then evolution of technology took away, even the DVD players, I don't even think they are producing them anymore. For majority of them, they come and they have pen drive slots.
Yeah.
So the question is, did we also migrate together with them? You understand? And so if the phasing out of DVD, just like cassettes faded out and then we came to DVDs and CDs, DVDs, then it means that, okay, so the evolution of technology and its impact within the space. Then you also go into the advent of YouTube, and there's a number of people who are actually having their content on YouTube, and people are able to watch them. And what does it mean? It means that the dynamics have changed. Whether or not the people who were within the space have also learned how to still market whatever they have developed and be able to make monies out of it, which means it goes back to the investor. Whether the investor has got confidence in a system to be able to deliver what they have. That so you can basically go through all of these things, and then the people also attribute, like somebody sent you a message about the telenovelas and the fact that it's being spoken in Tree. So then again, there's a certain amount of relatability that people are getting, and you can see on all the major platforms that is one of the key things that is on almost every TV station is basically in that space. And when you ask them, the cost of purchase for an episode is way cheaper. So obviously, some of them are even more than 10 years old, and they are still showing them here because it's way easier and all of that. So these are other legit reasons, and probably even more. But I don't think it is appropriate for anybody to want to downplay somebody's personal account of the spiritual component and how it really impacts the space. For me, when people somebody has there's supposed to be what do you call it, a proverb for that. If somebody comes from the river and tells you that good, so this is somebody's personal account. You understand what I'm saying? And so you don't want to downplay it.
Do you know Bumojiji? Do you know Bumojiji? Robert, let's go.
Okay.
Let them do
So
that.
the thing is, if she's giving this account, I think it is important and we need to be able to listen to it. And Kweku Menu also clearly spoke to it. And the fact that it is not necessarily an activity tied to the industry only, it is tied to every space, and we ought to be able to be alert. I think that it's been said time and again, the mind is a tripartite being. Body, soul, spirit. You're a spirit with a soul living in a body. And the reality is that you have to be able to protect all facets of your life. So you're supposed to understand, you're supposed to develop, you're supposed to deploy, you're supposed to protect, whatever it is, just you. And you cannot protect yourself only physically. You have to protect yourself spiritually, because at the end of the day, somebody wants to clear you. Somebody feels that they don't believe in abundance. They believe that the reason why they're not succeeding is because you are there. They believe that you didn't greet them, so you hate them. If they don't clear you, that kind of stuff. All of these things exist. So I think that let's not neglect the spiritual side of our lives. Hold on dearly. If you're supposed to, just like you feed your body daily, you have to feed your spiritual side daily. And, I believe in Christ, and so certainly he's the one I recommend, but I'm sure other people have got their other means. But I think it's important for us to be able to understand that, man is a tripartite being. You cannot neglect your spiritual side. There's a need for you to be able to connect with your maker.
Robert, thanks a lot. Adam.
Chairman.
Adam, you have
Yeah.
2 minutes real
Okay,
quick.
all right.
Today there.
I think we've heard a lot of these stories, and I have personally heard from someone like Awoya, who is also a Kumawood actress, talking about her experience to the extent that she had to sit up to ensure she's able to overcome. We've heard from Bishop Nyako, who eventually died, and even when he died, the family at a point didn't even want. When he was even sick, they didn't want some of the actors were saying the family were trying hard not to make them see him, and the fact that he also preached one day and talked about some of these things. We've heard of Tutu, who died 2 years ago, where the mom said they took him to somewhere and they found like 9 needles somewhere in his throat, and they did everything possible. Eventually, he died. We've heard of One Long Face, who's a comedian there. He was going to MC a program. At a point, he didn't want to MC, and they were forcing him. Now, he was given the mic all of a sudden, just like a footstep away. He took the mic, just one footstep, and Charlie, he was paralyzed. And the feedback he got was that it was Juju. When Frank Gabin's issue came, I mean, we saw what happened, and what he also, said to some point, pointing towards, this whole Juju syndicate that we've heard about Otele during his condition, and he proclaimed that. Where the attacks were coming from, he could not take away, his workplace. And he was of a view that he doesn't understand why people will go to that extent, because they just want to make sure you are inactive in a room. At the end of the day, your talent will not be transferred to them. However, they just want to get you out of a space. I sat with Frank Nello, Frank Nalu.
Frank Nalu.
Yes. At the Telephone FM then, where he announced that he has stopped the movie because of some spiritual attack, where they went to a woman who said that they found some things beneath his foot. And for that reason, he have vowed not to, be in the industry again. And now Frank Naro is a musician.
And he's cool there. Nobody is jujuing him.
Of course, I'm sure. Then we've heard about Boachiansa Otumfonana, who is now a security in the UK.
But the list is tall.
And it goes on and on.
There's a trajectory.
Why
It
don't
seems
we
they
have-
are all Kumawood. I don't
Why don't
see.
the other
And
Hollywood people also complain about it?
And now there is Portia
I said,
Asare.
those one, that's it.
And now there is a Portia Asare, who is, Charlie, she's been in the industry not today. Very experienced actress. And for her to come out like this, I mean, clearly it showed that there's something happening. Or I say, maybe a obomofo
Otumfo
airborne.
Nehuhian.
So the way, I mean, those in the water are coming out with different accounts, it means there is something happening. And which for me is not a surprise because, I mean, where there is competition, excessive competition, there is that possibility of people envying others. So, I mean, if you are in that space, it will be difficult for you to be able to advise everybody in the space to accept that we will not do it again. But it comes to a point that if you are in the space and you are hearing such stories, it means you need to be cautious. Like Kweku is saying, one ko bomb pie no be bomb pie na mo na so no be kwama. Sanity. So I mean, we all of us in the competitive spaces should be very wide open and ensure that we protect ourselves in a certain way and do not also step on people's toes unnecessarily, because at times that is where the troubles come. I mean, when you are backbiting, doing other things against people, there are some people who are not forgiving. And when they see that you are doing certain things against them, they will strongly come up against you. So we need to be very cautious and ensure that we live in harmony with everyone.
Okay. Thank you, Adam. I think our time will not allow us to continue this conversation. Adam, you have a birthday shout out.
Me too.
Yeah, okay, let me start with you, Kwan.
Yeah, happy birthday to Kwesi Ose Danso Oforiata. Today I have taken over from Settings Man.
No, he
Kwesi
also has...
Ose Danso Oforiata. It's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you.
Adam, let your own go before...
I want to say a very big happy birthday to Shati. She's a nurse at the Eastern Regional Hospital in Koforidia. I want to wish her all the best and say that may God continue to bless her beyond measures. And
what's her name?
Shati. I mean, that's how I call her, Shati. So I wish her all the best.
Is that her real name? Are you sure you are mentioning
Adam
So I wish her all the best in all her endeavors. Make she chill today.
Adam, I did trust you.
I want to see how you save the
Adam,
name
I
on
did
your
trust
phone.
you
Have
pass.
you sent the memo? Have you sent the memo?
I did trust you pass, Adam.
Go.
I did trust you. You don't miss.
He never disappoints.
Yeah, thanks a lot for joining us, Robert. Thank you, Kwame.
This is Hitz.